listening to Listen to Sun 969.
We were just talking off here, it's always the woman's fault. Do you think that, honestly?
No, I didn't mean that it's always the woman's fault. I meant I'm so sick of people acting like it's always the woman's fault.
Right.
The blame game, the misogyny.
No, but I'm saying, do people always think it's the woman's fault?
I don't know. I think in regards to what we were talking about, yes.
Okay, but I've always been. It's always been my fault.
I think
right through my life, whenever I've been around a woman,
I'm not
the woman always blames me for everything.
You always do that. You are a white male. Stop acting like things are hard for you. They are not. And if you think they are hard for you,
they are.
Try being a woman, a person of colour. Try being any other.
No,
you are in the majority, and I am in the minority.
Everyone has their issues. I get that.
No,
first world problems. I get it.
You're where you are in things. You don't have issues.
I have issues. Everyone has issues. We've got to understand. We've just got to be empathetic to everyone's issues.
No, we don't.
We do. We need to be empathetic.
Absolutely,
we need to understand. In some places you might not get any food, or you're struggling to eat. I get that.
No, it's not that. I'm talking about everyday things. I'm talking about, like, for example, in a workplace, right? And FYI, I'm not talking about our workplace. I love our workplace, which is why
we've got a great HR structure here.
Our workplace, though, is why I have been here for so long, because I've found that this is quite progressive. It is not the case here. But in the majority of workplaces, if a woman is ambitious, if she is a boss lady, she'll be called a bitch. But if a male behaves the exact same way, he's a boss. If a woman gets upset over something that she rightfully should be upset over, not even upset, just angry, annoyed, anything, oh, you're a bit too emotional. If a man does, oh, God, he's passionate. And these are just a couple of examples.
That's your perception.
No, it is not my perception. It's the perception of the world.
I don't perceive that. I think that I've been around men who have been very much a bitch. Been around a lot of boss men.
Then you are the exception,
a lot of
not
boss
the
men
rule.
Have been, I won't go into specifics, but even in other aspects of my life, I know of bosses who are male bosses who aren't so good.
That's good, but that's because you're acknowledging that. I'm talking about society's acknowledgement of these people.
But I don't speak on behalf of society. I can only speak on behalf of myself.
Correct, but what I'm speaking about is something that it is a society problem. This isn't something that I'm just saying. And this is something that if you ask
I'm pretty observant. I don't have my head in the sand either.
If you ask any woman in the workplace, any woman ever, just go out in the street and speak to any woman and they'll tell you the same thing.
Because I think it is.
Yeah, of course it's getting better. But we've had to fight for that. It didn't just happen. Fight tooth and nail for the same rights. Fight tooth and nail for the same, things that you can't deny from your perception is the pay gap. A man and a woman could do the exact same job and be paid a different wage.
Yeah. See, and I work in pretty ordinary sort of away from here, ordinary kind of work, and that isn't the case.
It's not the case, and it's also not the case.
Award-based jobs are always done that way.
And it's also not the case now.
But if you're hired on the basis of you're headhunted or things like that, then you can name your price, male or female. So I think in those kind of areas, I don't actually necessarily have an issue with whether if a woman gets more than a man or a man gets more than a woman, because sometimes you are hired for your experience and your knowledge and your ability. Look, it's been debated over and over again. I think if you have, for example, we talk about the Kyle and Jackie O example. They went to town on it. They made sure because they were going to pay her less than him. Yeah. And he said no. He turned around and said no. It shouldn't be the case.
But also
because they do the same job.
And also
in that case,
exactly what you have just said leans into what I'm saying, right? So he turned around and said no, okay. Yeah. And he was applauded for that. Good Kyle.
What a man.
What a man that he actually stuck up for his equal. And that's a perfect example.
But we had it with the Today Show as well, remember? All the dramas were in the Today Show.
Yeah,
Lisa Wilkinson
it's ridiculous. It's just,
Carl Stefanovic.
There are still ways that things grind my gears. I was actually watching something the other day that said, with like mums and dads, the whole, mum will do everything, but, dad will be at the park and, isn't he a good dad? Oh, really? Really a good dad for looking after his own child?
See, I think if people think that way, that's not ideal. Because
it's not ideal, but it is how things are.
I wouldn't have thought that. When I took my kids to the park, I really enjoyed it, so it didn't sound like work. I didn't feel like I should be getting clapped for it at all.
I know, and yet it happens every day.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I hadn't heard that. But,
it drives me.
If that's what's going on, that's not ideal.
And I really do think it is a generational thing because, okay, for example, I'll say this because this is on the YouTube channel, not
say what you want,
not on the airwaves. But for example, my stepmom was talking to my sister.
Yeah.
And, you know, my sister's partner, like they've got 2 kids, is quite involved. And when I say quite involved, I don't mean any more than he should be. I just mean him and my sister are 100% equals. Yeah. They have a very good relationship and they are both equals. And he does just as much with the kids as she does, vice versa, whatever, right? And so my stepmom was saying to my sister, oh, God, he's so good, isn't he? He does blah, 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 blah. And my sister just turned around to my stepmom and said, oh, my God, your bar must be so low. Yeah. Like if you were applauding my partner for, oh, isn't he great putting the kids to bed? Well, he should be. Yeah,
maybe in the case of me, every couple of months I might have, you know, she had to go and do study or something and went away and I had to look after the kids for a whole night, you know, on my own. Make sure they were fed and got to bed and dressed in the morning, washed and dressed in the morning. I mean, seriously, I agree with you. I agree entirely with what you're saying because it's just normal.
Yeah.
Don't applaud a man for doing something that a woman normally does.
Yeah.
You know, I think I agree with you. I thought we could have a debate, but I don't think there's any debate.
No, there's really not.
There's no room for debate. I mean, if a woman does something with the kids or a man does it with the kids, it's no hero worship there. It's just you're just doing your job. You're just doing what has to be done to make the family work.
100%. You know? And I think as a society, like my sister said, due to generations, I honestly think our bar is so low.
And look, in all honesty, I never did as much with my kids as their mother did.
Yeah.
And did I feel bad about that? Well, not really, because I knew that I was doing what I could and I would step in when I was needed. But I never felt like I should get a pat on the back when I did it. It was just part of raising the kids. That's what a man and a woman or 2 men or 2 women do. You know, they support each other and at the times that need to be there. I mean, she might not have been working as much, so I've worked more, but, you know, either way. But hang on, let me finish. She would then turn around and but then there were times where she would be working a lot.
No,
and
she was working the whole time. Raising children is a job.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I'm saying there were times where I would be in a physical workplace working, so I couldn't do those things. But when I came back and I had my time off and I jumped in and did my bit, whatever I could, I didn't want to get patted on the back for it. It was just part of what I could do. I did what I could. Within the time constraints that I had, whatever that might be, you know.
Congratulations, Nigel! You have placated my ire and anger. And on that note, we have to.
Yes, before I say something else to fire you up.
We have to wrap up this.
I love your lavender nail polish. That's good. Did I fire you up?
Just about to. Let's finish this up.
Okay.